Good afternoon, Ronald E. McNair Elementary family, scholars, and staff. My name is Mr. Chow, as many of you all know, and I'm truly humbled and honored and grateful to be your scholars school counselor at Ronald E. McNair Elementary School, where we believe in success for all. And I know you've probably heard that all these months, you hear that everywhere. But again, we truly believe that your scholar can succeed, not just in academics, but also in life. And so we are going to continue saying that motto because it's something that our staff here at the school truly embody. And it's something that we truly believe that your scholar can be successful. So let's continue as we move into the last month. Let's continue to communicate with the school and your teachers. Let's continue to encourage your scholars to work hard. Let's continue to encourage your scholars to, behave appropriately. And we're going to continue to support you all in that journey. Let's continue to support each other with our attendance and going to school, understanding that, hey, the progress we make this month will make a big impact on how they start next year. Because if you think back and remember, how we end this year is how we start next year. And we still have a long month here in May. There's a lot of testing. And so we truly believe your scholar can still make growth that will benefit them, not just this year, but also next year. And so without further ado, we are going to launch Chow-Time Edition 8. And if you remember, Chow-Time is a 10-part video newsletter where we highlight a trait, a characteristic, a habit that we truly believe will impact your scholar's success, that will help them become more successful, not just in academics or in school, but also in life. And so if you think back, in August, we spoke about expectations, where this very year, it's crazy to think it's been almost 8-9 months ago, but we spoke about how the expectation for your scholar this year is super high, because with high expectations comes growth. With low expectations comes no growth, or you actually go backwards. And so the expectations within academics, within behavior, and obviously within the school. And we've made so much progress this year. Let's continue that momentum. In October, we spoke about faith, where faith is believing that the work you put in today will impact your scholar success down the road. We might not be able to see it yet, but we know that it's coming. And so that is key. Where there's no faith, there's no belief that, hey, this work that I'm putting in out is going to pay off. And we know that if your scholar works hard and works at it and communicates and works at it and communicates, they will succeed. And then in November, we spoke about appreciation, where appreciation is an action word, where we show appreciation or our gratitude or thankfulness through our actions. And so let's continue that spirit of appreciation by letting our actions reflect and encourage others, and encourage and reflect that, hey, you know what? We believe our teachers and our staff can encourage us and help our scholars be successful. And as a family, how do we continue to show appreciation to your scholars, right? And the hard work. Let's speak. Hey, great job on this. I'm so excited. I appreciate the hard work you put in, regardless of what the grade was. I appreciate the hard work you put in because I saw you put in hard work on that project or that test, right? When it was something you didn't want to do. Let's continue to encourage our scholars. In December, we spoke about reflection, where reflection is thinking back about what's worked, what hasn't worked, and where do we go from here, right? And so let's figure that out. Let's continue to reflect over what's worked, what hasn't worked, and where do we go from here as we get close to the end of school year. In January, we spoke about vision, where vision is knowing the goal that you have in mind and driving towards that. Where there's no vision, you wander around in a circle aimlessly. Where there's vision, there's growth and there's success. In February, we spoke about togetherness, right? Where we are in partnership together as a family, as a school, as a staff. That's where togetherness creates what we call synergy, or where 1 + 1 = 3, because the work of 2 people actually end up being about the work of 3 people because of our synergy. In March, we spoke about consistency, and consistency is about doing the same things consistently over and over, even when you don't feel like it, consistently working on yourself or your scholar or your academics or your attendance or your behavior so that you can continue to grow. Because what we see is eventually consistency leads to one of these growths, which is what we call exponential growth. And that's where we see your scholars, not just in school, but with their behavior and with their attendance. With consistency, builds growth. And without further ado, in April, our month, and I wanted to end at the very end of this month for this reason, is about self-control. And so self-control, the reason why I wanted to end this month with that is because we know that May is a long month. There's not really any breaks. It's one of those months where there's tons of testing. But self-control, the way I want to frame it is this. What is it that you can control based on yourself? And what is uncontrollable? So some controllables, right? I can continue to work hard. I can communicate with my teachers. I can work on not cutting up, behaving, being kind to others, watching what I say. I can control, if I come to school when I don't feel like it, right? Those are controllables. Uncontrollables are like getting sick. Can't come here. Uncontrollables are like, I don't know what's going to be on the end of grade test, right? I don't know what someone else is going to say to me. But how we can control ourselves is our reactions. The more that we can control ourselves or self-control, the more growth we will have. Why? Because as a lot of these fifth grade, as you guys have heard, as we spoke about middle school, and I'm going to talk to everyone here, right? What I've told fifth grade is this. There will be a lot of uncontrollables when you get to middle school. There will be a lot of uncontrollables with your academics. What teacher you get, what activities, what school you go to, right? Those are things that may seem out of your control. But what you can control is, hey, right? The 4 steps to success. I can come to school. I can not cut up. I can do my homework, and I can communicate with my teacher. Those are 4 things that I've stressed to 5th graders this year, even 4th graders this year, about how is it that you can be successful next year. Control those 4 things, and everything else is taken care of. And in many ways, if you take care of those 4 things, we know you're going to do well. We know you're going to grow. So again, those 4 things, right? Control what you can control. Those 4 controls are do your homework, don't cut up, communicate with a teacher, and come to school. And so obviously if you're sick, make sure you communicate. Uncontrollable, can't control it. Make sure if you can't be at school, communicate with the staff, communicate with Miss Allen, communicate with the teacher. If you have troubles, if you're having a challenge with someone behaviorally, hey, communicate with your teacher. You can speak to me as well. We're going to work through it to figure out, again, it's a partnership, the synergy. It's a partnership to figure out how to support your scholar. And if it's something with academics, communicate with your staff, right? Communicate with your teachers. Your teachers and your scholars teachers are amazing. And so make sure you continue to communicate with them. That all being said, let's work and focus on what is controllable and what is controllable by ourselves this last month. And I know we are going to rock and roll. We're going to crush this last month and a half of school. And your scholar is going to continue to achieve more than we could ever imagine. And so with that, I hope that you all have a wonderful evening. I hope you all have a wonderful night, and we'll see you in the morning. And with that, Chow-Time edition 8 on self-control is over. Good night.